Hello everyone, Rurikhan here, bringing you guys just another quick little update here. At least I hope it'll be quick, because my videos do tend to just drag along for some reason whenever I do an update, that is. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of update, because I'm going to be doing a little bit of shifting focus in the channel here, because I really don't like the way that I've kind of forced myself into recording several different games at the same time. And I realized that I kind of brought it on myself, because I always want to do everything, and I know that this is a problem I have, and I've admitted it like a long ass time ago. It's just like I keep telling you guys, I'm so passionate about doing this that I want to do everything, and sometimes it doesn't really work out for the best for me. But anyways, as you guys can see, the footage in the background is Darksiders 2, and I just wanted to make a quick little note there that I still feel really bad that this game didn't do a lot better than it actually did. I mean, sales-wise and whatnot, because I mean, I still feel this is an amazing game, and I'm still playing this game. Unfortunately, I haven't had as much time as I wish I had to just blast through this game. I played a little bit of it yesterday, and I just had a blast, because the game's amazing. I just really love it, and I feel really bad that this game didn't do better than it actually did. But anyways, that's really just what I wanted to say about Darksiders 2. I just think the game's amazing. But like I was saying, I'm going to be shifting focus a little bit, because I feel that the way I've been doing things isn't really working out. And the reason is because, I mean, I'm constantly shifting playstyles. It's like today I'll record Dead Space 2, for instance. So my gaming and muscle memory start adapting to Dead Space 2. And I'm obviously going to be terrible at the start of every session, like I always am, and sometimes even throughout the session, because Dead Space 2 is just a game that I'm terrible at by nature. But whatever, I start getting terrible, then at the end of the game, usually I'm more comfortable with the controls and whatnot, and I'm feeling good, and I mean, at the end of the session. And then it's like, okay, now I'm kind of confident, but it's like 90 minutes have passed, and I'm going to end the session, because pretty much after 90 minutes, or depending on the game, sometimes after 120, my commentary rate just starts going down, because you've been speaking for 2 hours straight about a game. Commentary just starts going down the drain, and I just start getting tired. So usually I'll record somewhere between 90 minutes and 120 minutes. And what happens is you get to that point where you're actually feeling comfortable with the game and whatnot, and it's like, okay, it's time to stop recording. And then on the next day, I'll be recording like Far Cry 3, for instance, which is completely different, you know? And then once again, I'm reshifting my muscle memory to Far Cry 3 and playing through Far Cry 3 for another 90 minutes. And at the end of it, I'll be playing better than at the start. And then it's like, it's time to end recording again. And then on the next day, I'll play Dragon Age Origins, which is completely different from both those games, like the exact opposite of the spectrum of both those games. And I'll start once again shifting muscle memory over to Dragon Age Origins, and eventually when I go back to Dead Space 2, it's like, just forget everything that your muscle memory was trained to do in the previous episodes, and just learn the game all over again. Almost. It is almost like that. It's not exactly like that, because you do retain some of that muscle memory, but it's, I think you guys know what I mean, because I mean, usually you will not play 3 completely different games at the same time. At least I don't think you would. I mean, you will usually get 1 or 2 games in maybe, and just go through those, and then you get another 2 games in, or maybe 2 games in a multiplayer game, something like that. So what I'm saying is that this constant shifting of play styles, it's just a pain in the ass, and I feel the quality of my videos is beginning to drop a little bit, because of me constantly scrambling all over the place to do videos on this, videos on that, and I just think it's not working out. So my plan is, I'm going to focus on one of these games at a time. So for starters, I'm going to focus mostly on Dead Space 2, because I feel that's probably the one I'm closest to finishing. So I'm going to be doing Dead Space 2. After that, most likely I'm going to be covering Far Cry 3. And after that, most likely we're going to be going back to Dragon Age Origins. Now, obviously, it's not going to be just Dead Space 2 videos because, like I said, I want to make this a variety channel. So there's going to be more videos. One of those is something that you guys have just been hammering down my face like, we need it back, we need it. Dark Souls, of course, I told you guys Dark Souls would be coming back, and as a matter of fact, I just recorded 4 episodes already of the Dark Souls Iron Tarkus. Haven't uploaded yet because I've been thinking about all this stuff, how I'm going to shift focus or not shift focus. Basically, I've been studying the whole thing of what I'm going to do so that I can actually start implementing a proper plan instead of what I've been doing recently, which is just upload 1 episode of Far Cry 3, 1 episode of Dragon Age Origins, then 1 episode of Dead Space 2. Because again, I just don't feel that stuff is really working out, because there's a lot of, I mean, besides the whole thing of me shifting play styles and the muscle memory, and there's also a lot of waiting in between each episode for you guys which are following each of these distinct episodes. So I think it's better for everyone if I just do it like this. So up until the 25th, you're still going to be getting the last episodes that I recorded of both Dragon Age and Far Cry 3, which were episodes 16. I'm not exactly sure when they're going to be coming out because I haven't been checking the schedule that I had done before I went to Brazil. I've just been making new videos and getting everything set up to shift the focus. So you will be getting those episodes up to the 16th episode of those 2 series, and then they're going to stop for a while, and what you're going to be seeing mostly is Dark Souls and Dead Space 2. We're going to be having the Iron Tarkus build, which I actually am doing something a little bit different. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. It's mostly different. I mean, for starters, the start, I've done a start, which you guys know I usually do a little routine at the start. I'll either go and get the red suit, the Ku Klux Klan red suit. What do you call that thing? The Sealers suit. Sometimes I have a ritual where I go pick that up. Other times I go get the Drake sword. Other times I'll go and get recently I always go and get the Firekeeper souls. But, you know, I tend to switch around depending on the build that I'm doing. I will switch the weapons I start with. So for this particular playthrough, I'm starting with the weapon that I've never started before. And that's all I'm going to say in this video. I think you guys are really gonna have some fun with that. At least I hope you will. So yeah, that stuff's going to happen. So Dead Space 2, Dark Souls is going to be main focus for a while until Dead Space 2 is complete, which I think it's probably not going to last that long. After that, not after that, during that, there's also going to be more New Game Plus. Because, as you guys know, I love doing New Game Plus, and for New Game Plus, I don't really have to do a 90-minute segment each time, so it's not as damaging to the muscle memory, let's put it like that. And obviously, I want to do some Monster Hunter, and Monster Hunter, it doesn't even affect, well, actually, it has affected my my Dark Souls skills, Monster Hunter. It really has. Even though I would very much like to say it hasn't, it has, because what happens is due to different button configuration, sometimes I'll be in Dark Souls lately, and it's like in order to run in Monster Hunter, you press R1. In order to run in Dark Souls, obviously you press circle. So I'll just be in Dark Souls and press R1 when I'm trying to run, and then I'll press X when I'm trying to dodge. It's happened a little bit. But it's nothing major. It's correctable. Let's put it like that. But that's the thing. I also want to put out more Monster Hunter, which I'm playing while I'm not recording. I'm playing quite a bit of Monster Hunter. And I also want to do a New Game Plus on that game that I told you guys about, Ragnarok Odyssey, because I've played more of that game now, and I like it. I like it a lot. So I really want to do a New Game Plus on that, kind of explain the parallels between that and Monster Hunter and why not a lot of people enjoy that game, apparently. So yeah, this shift is going to allow me to do New Game Plus more often, as well as Monster Hunter. So, you know, keeping 3 different things going on. So it's going to be Dark Souls, Dead Space, and then New Game Plus or Monster Hunter, something like that. But mostly Dark Souls and Dead Space 2, so that I can focus myself more. After that, like I said, the plan, Far Cry 3, and then Dragon Age Origins. But once again, this is the plan. It's not set in stone. Stuff might happen, betas might happen, stuff that will require my attention. So basically there might be things happening which will put Far Cry 3 and Dragon Age on a back burner for a while longer. I'm just letting guys know ahead of time, because it's just the main thing about the channel, like I always said, is going to be Dark Souls and stuff that relates to Dark Souls. And that is not changing at all, because it's simply the stuff that I'm most passionate about. Like, to me, a Monster Hunter game really relates to the playstyle of Dark Souls, because it is still about studying the patterns of bosses as well as the moveset of your weapons and connecting those two things to take maximum effectiveness. I think, in my opinion, that from a mechanical standpoint, Dark Souls and Monster Hunter are 2 very similar games mechanically. And just notice what I'm saying, mechanically, because Dark Souls is quite different from Monster Hunter. Let's face it, because Monster Hunter is about hunting monsters. Dark Souls has that whole dark themed story set to it. And so don't like misinterpret what I'm saying into, oh, but you just said Dark Souls is the same as Monster Hunter. No, I said mechanically they're very similar, and they both have characteristics that really attract me to it. So I kind of see Monster Hunter as being inside the Dark Souls thing in my channel, in my opinion. So let me know if you don't agree, but that's the way I feel about it. Like I said, it's not set in stone, because there's a couple of more things happening. Also, something that I want to do pretty soon in the channel is I want to do a cons cast about handheld gaming, because there's been a lot of devices revealed at Consumer Electronics that I want to talk about. You know, NVIDIA's Project Shield, Razer's Gaming Ultrabook, which I don't even remember what the name of that thing is. And a couple of more things that I want to talk about, as well as the PlayStation Vita and whatnot. So I want to do a podcast about a conscast about handheld gaming. So that's going to be happening. Also, something that I'm considering is doing a playthrough of Binding of Isaac. And before you guys tell me, oh, but you're going to put another playthrough, it's Binding of Isaac, to my understanding at least, because I had never played it before. I've seen other people play it a little bit. I never paid that much attention to it. It was actually given to me, if I'm not mistaken, by That's Nacho Cheese during a live stream. I think that he was the one who gave it to me. So thank you very much, Nacho. I've only recently played it. And I have to say, I actually thought it was a pretty cool game. And it was one of those cases where you're just watching other people play and you're like, I don't get it. It doesn't seem that awesome. But when you start playing it, you understand that there's a lot of randomness to it. There's a lot of skill involved as well. It's not just, you know, shoot, pray to God. There's a lot of dodging around and whatnot. And I don't know, I just like the overall feel to it. But before, like I was saying, before you guys start going, oh my God, you're crazy, like putting another playthrough in again. It's a really short game, if I'm not mistaken. It seems to be really, really short. I haven't been able to finish it yet because I die before I get to the end, which again is always a good indicator to me. It's like, if a game kills me before I actually get somewhere decent in the game, I'm pleased, because I thought it was really cool that on my first playthrough I must have gotten something really weird, which is I lost almost all my life in the first room I went into. So that was like, okay, you got me hooked. Because what happened was, it was a room that was chock full of rocks, which means it had very, very narrow pathways, so to speak. There wasn't a lot of room to move. And I had like 4 of those bouncing pants enemies or whatever. So it was almost impossible to hit them and or dodge them. And I was like, what the crap, really? And yeah, I wasn't even aware that it was random for the longest time. I would see people play it. I did not knew that the game was like randomly generated. So that also kind of piqued my interest a little bit. Also, something I tried recently it was Warframe, and I just want to mention this because I'm curious. What do you guys think about Warframe? Do you guys like it? I'm not gonna give out my opinion just yet, but I'm very curious of knowing what do you guys think about Warframe. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just Google Warframe. It's a cooperative, multiplayer cooperative game. Up to 4 people can play together, and you can dynamically generate your groups, whatever, and you just go through and you kill baddies, and that's pretty much it from what I can tell. I mean, obviously you can upgrade your gear, you know, you have all that usual free-to-play MMO type of stuff where you can buy items, you know, that kind of thing. I'm just curious to know what your opinion is, and in case you're wondering, oh, but how can I play this? It's in closed beta, blah, blah. Just, check out the IGN promotion they have, I think, because you can go to IGN and get a Warframe beta key for free. I mean, that's what I did pretty much. You go to IGN, their website, you register, and I know I kind of felt dirty after doing that, but you go to their website, you register, and they give you a beta key, and then you go to the Warframe website, you register, confirm your account, and you can try it out, and then leave me your opinion. Tell me what you think about Warframe, because I'm curious to know. Anyways, the closest already announced games that I'm interested in and that I might be making videos about, I'm not talking about full playthroughs here, I'm just talking about making a couple of videos about them. They're going to be coming out. The first one is in February the 19th, which is Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. And I know that there's a lot of people who don't like it, but look, I just don't care. Like I always say to everyone, and I say this to everyone, it's like, look, you play the games that you care about, and that's it. And nobody is entitled to tell you that you can't like a certain game. Nobody. I mean, if you, for instance, because this is one of the games that me personally, I didn't like that much. It was Resident Evil 6. I watched footage. I didn't even buy the game. I watched a friend of mine play it, and I didn't enjoy it. I did not enjoy, I didn't think that I was going to like Resident Evil 6. But here's the thing. If someone likes Resident Evil 6, like my friend, he loved Resident Evil 6. Sure, I was like poking fun at him and whatever, like, the game sucks, whatever. But that's the thing. Nobody can really realistically tell you, unless they're joking like I was, nobody can tell you, you can't like this game. Because that's just dumb. It's like, look, if I like this game, it's my problem. It's not your problem. I like what I like. Like some people have, like a lot of, I don't know exactly who came up with that sentence, but the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So it's like, if you like a specific game, that's your prerogative. So me personally, I like what Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance does, so I might do a couple of videos on it. I'm not talking about full playthroughs. I'm just saying that's stuff you can look forward to. The other game that you guys already know that I am really, really interested in is God of War Ascension. It is coming out March 12th. So that's the next in line. And after that one is going to be The Last of Us. However, for The Last of Us, I have to say I will most likely not be able to cover it at release. The reason for that is because I'm getting married on May the 5th, so my priorities are not going to be about gaming on that particular date. So anyways, that's all I really had to say. As usual, leave me your feedback and comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about me shifting focus here a little bit, because like I said, I just feel I need to change something around, because I just don't think the way that I was doing things is going to work. So anyways, you're going to get up to the 16th episode of Dragon Age Origins and Far Cry 3. After that, mainly Dark Souls and Dead Space 2, as well as some more New Game Pluses and Monster Hunter. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.